Skylar Valentine.
Skylar at the plate. Making his fourth trip there. He's been on base 3 times, all via the walk. First pitch to him's high outside, ball 1. Skylar also grounded out to Tyler Bruno for the second out of the 6th. Up here in the 8th with a big chance here. Bases loaded, nobody out. Can the doubles machine, that is, strike again? 1-0 pitch, lofted high and foul down the right field line into the Trailblazers' pen. Count evens up at 1-1 on Skylar Valentine. Skylar, let's see how he's doing with the bases loaded when he's been at the plate. 1-1 pitch is outside low, and the count now 2-1. Skylar hitting .333 in that situation with 4 RBIs. Has him jammed right now. Conley at third, Estrada at second, Brookover at first. 2-1 pitch. Lofted high and deep to right field. The right fielder going back. He will not get it. It hits at the warning track. It's going to bring in 3, and Valentine's on his way to third, and he can come in standing up. A bases clearing triple deep to right field by Skylar Valentine, and the Jammers lead it by a score of 9-2.
All right, Jammers fans, now up to bat, the right fielder, number 9, Johnny Stack.
I don't think he can turn into a triples machine, but we'll take that one. Well over the head of Bay McIntosh in right. Colin Stack at the plate, and the first pitch is on the outside corner, and strike 1 called. You can bump Skylar's batting average up with the bases loaded there and add 3 to that RBI count. 0-1 pitch on its way to Stack outside in the dirt, counts even at 1. Skylar has had a pretty outstanding season this year. In the field, at the plate, stealing bases in key opportunities. 1-1 pitch high. Justin Smith goes up into the ether and pulls that one back down. Throws it back to Hamrick. Joe Hamrick. Redshirt freshman year for him this past season. The pitch is too far inside, taken by Stack, ball 3. Count 3-1. Stack, the 5th batter to the plate here in the bottom of the 8th. All have reached safely. Single for Conley, walk for Estrada, single for Brookover, and a triple for Valentine. This one's hit hard down the third baseline, bobbled there by the third baseman. Valentine starts toward home, and Dugan Darnell makes the throw to catcher Justin Smith, and they tag out Skylar Valentine for the first out in the bottom of the 8th. Stack will be down at first on a fielder's choice. Just didn't take enough time for Stack to make a move up to second base. As soon as Valentine saw that bobble by Darnell, it was like, I'm going to try it. And it didn't pay off. 1 out, runner at first, Stack. 3 runs in the inning, though. Jammers up 9-2. First pitch to Christian Deaton is high, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, with a runner at first and 1 out. Joe Hamrick, the righty, with a 1-0 pitch. Catches inside corner, and that's called strike 1. Counts even at 1-1 on Christian Deaton. Christian's been on base, that is, a couple of times, 0 for 2 otherwise. Striking out, swinging, final out of the first. And hit one at third baseman Darnell that he handled unassisted. for the second out of the fourth, and Christian Deaton's hit by the pitch. I guess if you'd have to point to one bugaboo as an Adirondack Trailblazers fan tonight, is the amount of jammers that have been hit in the game. Matthew Vallon hit 4 Jamestown jammers, and now Joe Hamrick has hit 1. Zach Bygum did not hit anybody. Ryan Markey at the plate pops up the first pitch out of play, strike 1. Markey, the 7th batter at the plate in the inning. Stack is at second, and Deaton down at first. With 1 out, the pitch in the dirt taken by Markey, and the count's even at 1-1. Jammers once again, 7:05 tomorrow night from Newark, and then 3:05 Sunday afternoon as we host Oneonta. 1-1 the count and the pitch. That one's high, 2. Count 2-1. Be interesting to see what the pitching choice is. I'm going with Isaac Meza in the 9th inning, but I'm not the head coach or even the pitching coach. That one catches outside corner, watched by Ryan Markey, and he's called out on strikes. And that's the 3rd time he's struck out tonight. 2 swinging and 1 called. 8th batter in the inning is the DH, Connor Rule. Detailed Connor's at-bat so far in the night. Comes up with an opportunity here. Runner at second base is Colin Stack. We know he has speed, the guy at first. Christian Deaton, we know he has speed too. And the first pitch to Connor Rule misses outside low, ball 1. 9 runs on 6 hits now for the Jammers. 2 runs on 8 for the Trailblazers. Couple of errors for the Trailblazers, too. That pitch is in the dirt, gets away from Justin Smith. Both runners will move up 1. Stack to third, Deaton to second. And the count at 2-0 on Connor Rule. Joe Hamrick had come in case there was need of somebody to take a throw from Justin Smith, but Stack stopped at third. Balls, no strikes. The righty Joe Hamrick gets back up on the hill. And the 2-0 pitch. High, ball 3. Looks like Hamrick may be able to pitch himself out of the inning, but now Connor Rule presenting a problem at the plate. Count 3-0. Rule watches all the way, and there's a call on the outside corner for Joe Hamrick to make the count 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Pitch on the outside corner, the count of 3-2.
Oh, man. That's a first for me.
3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 on, 2 out. 9-2 Jammers lead. Bottom of the 8th. Payoff pitch. And Connor Rule hits another one down the right field line for extra bases. Bringing home Stack and Deaton. And Rule looks over his shoulder and finds the right fielder Bay McIntosh deep in the right field corner. It's a triple for Connor Rule. 2 more runs score, and the Jammers lead 11-2.
The shortstop, number 13, Nick Burdick.
If you got something that's working for you, stick with it. Opposite field shots down the line. We'll take all of those you want to hit, Connor. Couple of RBIs added to Connor Rule's total for the season, and the 9th batter of the inning is Nick Burdick, and the first pitch by the righty Joe Hamrick is high and inside a bit. Ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Hamrick's 1-0. Burdick watches that one over the outside corner. Counts at 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Runner at third, Rule, with 2 out. 5 runs in the inning for the Jammers. This one's high in the air. Going to give a chance? No? Yes? And it's dropped by the left fielder. Coming in, and Chuck Hooker looked like that is. He had a bead on it and had his glove out. Comes right out of the glove. Connor Rule scores. It's another error for the Trailblazers, and Bob McLaughlin's out of the dugout. 10 batters to the plate in the inning.
Back up the bat for your Jammers, the catcher, number 17, Chris Conley.
Shortstop, center fielder, and left fielder converged in shallow left center. Hooker appeared to have a better beat on it. He comes in, got his glove on it, and it popped right out. And Nick Burdick finds himself down at first base. Driving in Connor Rule. 12-2 the score, with Rule coming in. Earlier in the inning, Chris Conley started things off with a single up the middle. Danny Abate could not get to it and make a play. Kind of deflected off his glove. He was headed well toward the outfield, so no way he could have made a play on it. And Chris gets a single and fouls off the first pitch here. Count 0-1. Chris now at the plate for a 6th trip, and he's been on base 4 times already. 0-1 pitch misses outside. The count's 1-1.
Hey guys, 10-1 rule. They have
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out.
the NJCAA.
And a runner at first in Nick Burdick. Conway has already scored this inning. That pitch is high, ball 2. Count 2-1. I think Bob McLaughlin's message to Joe Hamrick was, "This is yours, kid." See nobody up in the Trailblazers pen. 2-1 count, the pitch. This is outside low, ball 3. Justin Smith snaps a throw back to his pitcher, Joe Hamrick, hoping to get a strike out of him here with a count 3-1 on Conley. Has a look over at first. Nick Burnick, the very modest lead off the bag, and goes inside in the dirt to Conley, and he's on base again. 6 trips to the plate, and he's been on base 5 times. That's how you get the OPS to where it is. Two of them somewhat painful, as he was hit by a pitch in the first and the third. He walked in the 5th and now the 8th. Singled and scored earlier this inning. Sac fly RBI in the 2nd. Estrada with a grounder right back to Joe Hamrick, the pitcher. Goes about halfway over to first base. Makes the underhand toss to his first baseman, John Michael Boswell, to retire the side. 6 runs come across for the Jammers, and they had a total of 3 hits, no errors for the Trailblazers, and 2 runners left on base. The score at the end 8, Jammers 12, Trailblazers 2. More after this on the Jammers Baseball Network.
All right. I know this isn't any fun to talk about, but we should. So, who's going to do what? Flashlights?
Nowhere to be found.
Where to be found. Batteries?
Dead.
Great. Emergency supply kits?
Not packed.
No. What about blankets?
We have an old towel.
Good enough. Cell phones?
May not work.
Emergency water?
Not a drop.
And what about food?
Nope.
Perfect. We all know where we're meeting if we're separated, yeah?
The library. Aunt Joan's house.
The bus stop.
Great. And I'll be waiting here wondering where you all are. Sounds like we don't have a plan. Who's up for mini golf?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency. Who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information. A public service announcement brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Enter Connor Ryan to the mound for the Jamestown Jammers here in the 9th inning. As I said, I would have just kept Isaac out there, but that's me, and I have no authority. So, I have no authority. So I can't make that call. Isaac Meza goes an inning, faces just 3 batters, struck out 1 of them, no runs or hits. 10 pitches to get the 3 outs. 8 of them strikes and only 2 balls. And Connor Ryan will pick things up from there. Connor Ryan with a record of 2-0. This is his 13th appearance. He's thrown so far in the season 12 1/3 innings. Has given up 5 runs on 6 hits. He has an ERA of 3.65. He has walked 8 and struck out 13. He's faced 54 batters, and that works out rather impressively for Ryan Connor. They're only hitting $154 against him. So it goes to the bullpen with the team up by 10, as it has been since the 6th. Nolan Hunt came in for the 7th, Isaac Meza in the 8th, and now Connor Ryan here in the 9th. 12-2, Jammers lead. Dugan Darnell leads things off. Darnell, the 3rd baseman, 0 for 2 tonight. Did get on base when he walked back in the 7th. Otherwise grounded out to Burnick and also called out on strikes. 1 ball, no strikes to him here. Ryan's 1-0. Inside low, ball 2. 2-0 the count to Dugan Darnell. Don't forget to make plans to join us Sunday. Sign up the kids for the Kids Club for free. This one's lofted high in the air to right. Stack, waiting for it to come down out of the ether. It does, and he catches it. Just the way they draw it up on paper. 1 gone in the Trailblazers half of the 9th.
DH number 14, Rob Zurowski.
Rob Zurowski at the plate. Rob, making his 4th trip, has struck out 3 times. 2nd, 5th, and 7th innings. Up here in the 9th, Connor Ryan's first pitch to him. Cut and a miss, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. Now when the kids are all signed up, they get in free on all Sunday games. We start at 3:05 on Sundays. That one's popped up and playable in the infield by Nick Burnick. He waits for that one to come down from the ether. 2 up, 2 down.
Back to catcher number 16, Justin Smith.
And last hope for the Trailblazers tonight, catcher Justin Smith. He's been on base once. He walked in the 7th. Also hit a fly ball out to Valentine back in the 2nd and struck out swinging in the 5th. First pitch by Ryan, high, ball 1. Also, when the kids are signed up for the kids club, they get in free, but the parent guardian will get in for $5 on Sundays. Kids get to run the bases at the end of the game. Oneonta's here Sunday. See you then. Ripped down the first base line. What a stab by Brookover. He'll win the race to the bag, and that'll retire the side. What a way to end the game on a great play by Ben Brookover down at first. He and Estrada, teammates at UTSA, meet out behind the mound and go through a ritual hand slap out there. Wow, what a way to end the game. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. 3 up, 3 down for Connor Ryan. And the Jammers win this one tonight by a final score of 12-2. Going back over the scoring, Jammers with a single tally in the first, 2 in the second, 3 in the third, and then 6 in the 8th for their 12 runs, 7 hits only, and no errors. And for the Trailblazers, 2 runs, 8 hits, and 3 errors. Their 2 runs tonight were scored when back in the first inning, John Michael Boswell hit a 2-run homer, and they never were able to get another run across in tonight's game. Chris Val